Good evening, everybody. Okay, so this is the evening live stream on day 289, y'all. 289. Wow. What they put us mommies and daddies through, I tell you. 289 days since Richard vanished. Right there from Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas. So I think I made it on a little bit early. Praise God, you know? Praise God. Richard didn't just vanish from the barracks, y'all. He didn't just vanish. And I tell you, I don't know what this commander of El Paso is worried about, but it is really the ambulance down in the valley. And it is just crazy, the stress that he must be under for trash. It's what they think is important is just, wow. Really shocking. Really shocking. Because otherwise he would care about the training of the command. When you have Darth Vader as commanders, you have a problem. Channeling Darth Vader is not the way to go when you're dealing with underage soldiers. You know, yeah, they can have it both ways. They really failed at protecting their underage soldiers. And that's what they are. They take it very seriously. So, yeah, we're looking at that. But we're looking at the abuse of power, taking the tools and using it against an underage soldier, causing a lot of problems. And then Richard winds up missing. Before then, though, something was going on because the chapter is a soup sandwich. The underage drinking is a soup sandwich. The border incident is clearly not what they said it is. And you have a Darth Vader captain that thinks it's, this letter is signed by him. It's signed by him. So I'm going to ask him right now. Captain, if this letter is not from you, please write me a text and say this, I never sent you a letter, ma'am. Because someone is posing as you and sending me a letter. Not Rob. Rob's chopped meat. Rob doesn't count. But is writing me a letter. And it's very bad. It's very damning. Very damning. I mean, wow. So, that's the feedback I'm getting. So I just hope it's not from him. So, and I just want to give him that chance to explain it. And I hope that you can call me 941-677-0060. Leave a message. Because it looks like you used the tools or had the ears of someone that can use the tools to systematically destroy an underage soldier. Yeah. And And what really happened at the beginning of March with a sore jaw and a sore knee? I don't understand. I don't understand. But it's coming to light. The silence is breaking. The silence is breaking. So I wish that they would just own up to it and know where Richard is. They know where Richard is. The unit knows. They know what happened. And maybe, you know, if they cared enough, if there was esprit de corps, an Operation People First, they would have already had all the answers out there. And that's why I really think the answers are with the Dollar General man, who got the information from Loose Lips Lieutenant Colonel man. I really, because I just do not discredit him. I'm sorry. He did not get in trouble for posing as FBI. So how can you discredit someone that did not get in trouble for posing as FBI when he just might have worked for the FBI? You never know. So, and then with all of the Mexico things being shut down on us, shut down, that all came from the State Department. And the State Department works then with the command there at Fort Bliss and CID. So under that direction, that orders, they shut down our agent, our Mexican agent there, to allow us to do a small search. They say, oh no, that phone call wasn't from him. It was a mistake. You know, it's just insane. You think I'm going to believe that insanity? I don't fall for the insanity. I don't fall for it. I don't fall for the ambulance down in the valley or the trashy germ theory. And I'm not going to fall for, oh, the Dollar General man's just a crazy guy. And oh, our agent there in Mexico, he didn't mean what he said. He never sent that. No, he never sent it. I'm not going to fall for it. We will climb every mountain, go down every stream, cross every stream, go down every mountain to find Richard. And if it's vice versa, we'll do that too. We'll go down the mountain, cross the stream, down the highway, cross the highway, up the stream, up the mountain, through the fields, through the desert, to find Richard. And it might take time, but we're going to find him. And with every day passes, the silence is broken. More and more and more. Because God knows where Richard is. And he's given us this journey. And in his time, we'll find Richard. Yep. Someone will come forward. Because they won't want to live with something worse than any boogeyman. Worse. And that's the guilt. They won't want to do it. It eats you alive. So Freud said, if we could just get rid of guilt, we can get rid of religion. We can get rid of confession, because confession is the cure of souls. So he never succeeded. He never succeeded. So we're going to continue to go down every road and cross every stream and up every mountain to find Richard. And so if the State Department blocks us and says crazy stuff, we're not going to believe it. Because how are you going to stand in front of God and say, well, you know, that Dollar General man, he knew, he said the truth, but we had to mislead the mommies and daddies. Yeah. So it's really, really important to value the mommies and daddies. You know, honor your mother and father, that things will go well and you will live long on the earth. It doesn't say you have to have a good mom and dad, that they have to be the perfect mom and dad, that they have to be there. It's interesting, isn't it? And we get mad at that. What do you mean? My dad hasn't been there for me. My mom hasn't been there for me. It's interesting. You know, but it's really, once you become a parent, you really feel humbled by what God gave you in that command. You feel very humbled. Yeah, because he doesn't let you off the hook. That's putting you on the hook even more. You know that, right? So we need to deserve that honor. Do our duty. So God works in really mysterious ways and uses imperfect man, and we all are, to do miraculous things. So we're going to have, this weekend, we're going to have Mother's Day. So Jay Paulin, did you buy your mommy some flowers? Did you buy her some chocolate? I hope you did. Thank you so much for saying those nice things about Richard. So, yeah, mommies and daddies count. So, that was the main thing that I wanted to say. And I got my card ready for my mom. So, do you have any questions? I'd be glad to answer, because so many things are going on right now, because the silence is breaking, that I have to be a little bit I have to be a little bit careful what I say. Yep. So we're getting close. We're getting close. Oh, thank you. I want to read everything. Hey, everybody. The unit does know. Thank you. Or someone in the unit knows, right? Someone does know. And in that barracks. And, you know, a lot of people don't have come into this late. But Richard disappeared right when there was a change of command. So there was a change of command from one battery commander to the next. So that's interesting. That's interesting. Thank you. I want to find Richard too. I know. I've been yelling this morning about the crimes against humanity. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Our crimes against humanity. And to me, a crime against Richard being underage and using tools that are supposed to be meant to make an army strong, but used to systematically destroy a soldier, an underage soldier. And they had the duty to protect him. And they can't say, oh, you know, he's not old enough to have a drink, have a beer. We take that very seriously, and we're going to give him a chapter for it. Oh, we don't need to find him. You know, he's AWOL. This is at the beginning. You know, he'll come home when he's good and ready, and mommies and daddies don't want to let their children grow up. I mean, you know, they're schizophrenic. So they had a duty, and definitely this is a failure in leadership, failure of duty. And to coax and swindle and bribe soldiers from the highest leaders. Wow. What do you call that, y'all? Bad leadership. What's going on right now when there's zero chance No need for anything else but your good old immune system and your youth, right? Zero chance. Yep. There's a delivery system that I was looking up that was very interesting, and it had to do with the dragonfly. Look up the dragonfly and how many experiments have been done with the dragonfly wing. It's really interesting. And I just thought I'd throw that out there. I just throw it out there. Because Richard loved weird things, you know. Had good questions about weird things. And we would talk about weird things. Things like that would come up. Yeah. What the possibilities of what this could be that has plagued the minds to insanity, to destroy the third world, to destroy us as a country, to instill so much fear that violence comes out of it. And I'm praying that that Dollar General man that got the information from the loose lips Lieutenant Colonel man was a little mistaken. Because how in the world would the Army explain themselves if Richard was found and they have him and they didn't tell us because he was in uniform in Mexico? I hope that is not the truth. I hope that's not the truth. No. How will the Army explain all the hazing in the barracks if that's true? I don't know. Did the hazing go so far as abduction? I hope not. I hope not. Do we think China and the U.S. made a deal? U.S. don't talk about China genocide, and China doesn't comment too much about who's writing this. Oh yeah, military sexual trauma, because I already tattled to the UN. Not at all schizophrenia. Not all schizophrenias commit crime. No, I'm saying that the way they're thinking that Richard is an adult, yet he's underage. That makes him not an adult. That makes him a minor. So it's schizophrenia, right? They want Army strong, but yet they want to prevent the young people from breathing air and get their oxygen blood levels low and say it's for their health. Huh? It's schizophrenia. It's insanity. It's insanity. See? And the reason why I say this is because Richard and I talked about this with Rob. We talked about this with him. Did he have a different point of view? Why, if he has 0% chance, why does he have to prevent himself from breathing in full battle rattle, doing 45 days of extra duty? Did he make some enemies that got even with him? Do you understand how this connects? You don't have to read between the lines right now. And here it's coming out in the papers. I put it up there because are the leaderships more concerned about the thinking and the politics of their soldiers rather than foreign enemies? Is that what's going on? Richard did not have the lockstepping that leads to goose-stepping politics that we have today in the United States Army. They're lockstepping. They're goose-stepping. Why? What kind of leadership do we have when you have virtually 100% chance, no problems, if by any way you get sick? But now, with reduced oxygen levels, it puts us at risk. It puts the military at risk. And anyone that doesn't see that has an opposite view than the Halliday family. Now, did someone take that against Richard? Did they then systematically use a tool to destroy him? A tool meant to be used a whole different way, to totally destroy him, mentally, physically. Mentally, physically, because try 45 days of extra duty in full battle rattle with restricted oxygen. And then say, oh, it's for his health. That is human rights abuse. That is abusive power. That is a failure of leadership. And how many soldiers are going through this? We have to break the silence. How many soldiers are victims of politics instead of being in the army to do their duty, to protect the Constitution of the United States and protect our Bill of Rights? But no, they have to be taped in. They actually took tape and taped the back doors of the barracks where they had to be checked in and out of the front door, I guess. And so then it created an environment ripe for racketeering, and we were told they were racketeering for $80 a pop to have some freedom in their own country. And then I'm being told when they come back to El Paso, let's just tape their hands and legs to chairs and make them guzzle some tequila. And if that's not enough, stick some paper down their throat with a little LSD and maybe stick our fingers where they don't belong. And then we're told at 15-6 in front of my mother and father that everything's peachy, and my mom and dad are just like, what the heck's going on? And my dad, at that very first meeting, told, this is a failure of NCOs. Well, I think there's a lot of failure going around when I get the Darth Vader letter through through another person, only addressed to me, like Rob is chopped meat, saying, I believe it would be disingenuous of me to pretend to support a cause I do not feel. Now that comes from a leader that is total political garbage. I don't like him, so it's disingenuous of me to look for him, to support the cause of looking for him, and then to accuse, and then to say, oh, there wasn't significant evidence, but, he didn't say but, there isn't significant evidence of, and boom, 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 and this is what I think, that's what he's saying through all that. I mean, taking justice into your own hands so that filling the ear of some lieutenant colonel to take vengeance out on Richard for political beliefs because he didn't panic during this attack. He didn't panic, and he never went to West Point. And he didn't panic, and he wasn't afraid. I mean, he just went through basic training and was #1 in basic training and knew how to put the gas mask on. Y'all, he knew how to put the gas mask on without throwing up. Being in that gas room, he didn't throw up. So, yeah, so we've been closed down because of politics, closed down in our search at kilometer 29. And I'm just supposed to be happy and let time go by and sacrifice my son. Well, I am not a Darwinist. It's not the survival of the fittest for me. My son means something to me. And if he was abused physically, abused mentally, he went in with the best intentions. #1 in basic training, #1 in AIT, 300 PT score, outstanding performance on his equipment. He was abused mentally, abused physically. They did not protect their underage soldier. It was human abuse, which is a crime against this country. And our volunteer sons and daughters that joined to serve to protect the Constitution and our Bill of Rights. Our Bill of Rights. Our freedoms. And there's no common sense to bad orders. Panic orders. And the Nuremberg trial proves that. So what are we going to do? And I'm the thorn in their side because I'm a mom that doesn't lockstep to their insanity. Because I love my country. And I love my countrymen. And to see them lose their small businesses. To see the inner cities get burned down. To see the suffering across the borders. To see our soldiers have to march in 90 plus weather or walk around in 90 plus weather with restricted breathing for their health. When there's 0% chance, when anyone with any kind of brain knows that the sun is the purifier. But because of social stigma or the fear of losing their job, let's just put so much fear in our army and call them Army Strong. It's ridiculous. And I don't know where the backbones of these people are that claim to be our soldiers. It's like they're jelly. Except for a few that break the silence. But I'm wanting, waiting, willing to have a Patton again, a MacArthur again. Wow. Anyway, I didn't think I was going to come on here and let loose, but boy, I tell you, when I start talking about this, and I look at our country and our countrymen, and these ambulance down in the valley orcs. They're just orcs. And they think there's something because they have some kind of fancy paperwork behind them. Well, I have my son behind me. I have my son behind me, which is way more valuable than some kind of fancy paperwork. And I'll be able to stand in front of God because that's all that matters, y'all. I know you think I just say that, but I am absolutely 100% serious when I say, how are you going to recover? How are you going to recover? God is no buttercup. What are you doing to our country? What are you? And never mind yourself. It's like, never mind yourself, but what are you doing to the future? If you have any children, and to the country, and to our soldiers, and to our countrymen, and then it all spills over across the borders. And that's why I had to watch Mully again. You know, when I put that up this morning, when I thought about him, I had to watch him again. Because I just thought, I have to watch this man to give me some hope for these countries because of everything I saw when I went to Juarez. The pain and the suffering that is unnecessary. And they say it's for our health. And because I have a different thinking, because our family has a different thinking, and it spills over to our children, to Richard. Did they take it out on Richard? Because that letter, they took it out on Richard. It's our schizophrenia. Yes, I am the battery commander, but I believe it would be disingenuous of me to pretend to support a cause I do not feel like, trying to find my missing soldier that went missing during 15-hour, we don't know exactly, my change of command. And I had to hang around because, I had 0% chance of contagion and being ill from contagion or recovery from contagion or whatever. But I had to stick around. But I couldn't help. I couldn't call. I couldn't write a message to the parents. I couldn't say, hey, you might want to call the battery commander. I'm not in there anymore, but why don't you call? We have a problem here. I really deeply care about Halliday. Do you? Really? Liar. Liar. So what else are you lying about? And I'm supposed to be nice. My son is missing. And they've intimidated and they've lied. They failed to contact family. Lots of bad things were happening. And they're like, well, you need to meet us halfway. Really? No, I think it's your duty to go the whole way, over and above. Over at this point, over and above. It's called the Medal of Honor ethos. Over and above the call of duty. Don't wait for me. You know what's right. Any other comments? Calm me down, Cindy. I see you're on there. I don't even know if he just saw the insanity, I think. And it was insanity. When guns are underneath soldiers' beds and pillows all the way through the barracks, and they're having parties during shelter in place, and I know those two things as fact, because they were told to me. And then the racketeering, which was told to me by soldiers. Was there fighting? I mean, can you imagine 120 soldiers being backdoor taped up, being sheltered in place, parties, who knows what was going on? Was there any fights, disagreements, hothead political disagreements? I don't know. I know my son is missing. And he's a flincher, y'all. He has a weakness. And his weakness is he's not aggressive. He's a flincher. Go and look at the video of when they were sucking the helium balloons at the party. You'll see it. You'll see what I mean. He was not aggressive. He flinched. That's Richard. He's not aggressive. That's why I didn't believe the doggone lies that were going around about him. I was like, no way. No way. Now, does that mean that he's not brave? He's very brave. He's just not violent. Okay. Any other questions? All right. I'm going to go to bed. Thank y'all. God bless you. And I know I have to risk. The thing that I want to say is, with all of this, what is going to help the most is Operation People First. Esprit de corps. Faith, hope, love. Fear of God. Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Is the beginning of freedom. Is the beginning of courage. Is the beginning of life itself. Life itself. It's the beginning of joy. And so that Operation Good Shepherd, the Good Samaritan, the Medal of Honor ethos, all of that came from a culture that feared God. Everything good that America has came from a culture of people that feared God. Because that means they didn't want to steal from you. They didn't want to murder you. They didn't want to beat you up and abuse you. They didn't want to take justice into their own hands. They didn't want to restrict your breathing and call it good health. And I'm going to tell you this. Watch out. Because the airlines are talking seriously. If you've gotten the jab, that puts them at risk, because high altitude, and if you get the jab, then you might get blood clots, easier blood clots. That's not good. That's not good for high altitude flights, for flying. And I'm just saying, this is what I'm reading, because I want to go to South Korea. The way I go to South Korea is I have to take a long flight. Just saying. Y'all better research things. 0% chance. Why do you have to worry? Adult jabs, why do you have to worry? Weird. Insanity. Insanity. Do some research, y'all. That's why we are the Halliday family. I'm not saying team find Richard Halliday, because I have some people that disagree. But they respect other people's views. And I respect other people's views. But when they take it out on my son and use tools that are meant for good to systematically, mentally, physically destroy my son because they don't like his view, then I have to speak up. Okay. Good night, y'all. Please sign the petition. Have lots of petitions. Go petition. I think we need to have another petition. Goodbye, y'all. Please sign the petitions. Go petition and then just put in the search Richard Halliday. Try to do it on a laptop or a computer. And we did raise this morning. We did raise $25,000 from family, $25,000 from Army. That's what the last that we heard. That makes a $50,000 reward for information, up to $50,000 reward for information leading to finding Richard. Good, bad, or ugly. We're looking at all possibilities. But I have to tell you, I do lean towards Dollar General Man. I lean to that. And it's interesting that the State Department, boom, closed it down. Closed it down. How are they ever going to recover from that and tell the American people that? So I need you to copy, paste, share, comment, share, comment, share, paste, copy, share. Because they're not going to cover. They're not going to cover because they don't like our stand against this trashy germ theory and the insanity for our health. Now you can disagree, but there is something called the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the freedom of speech. Okay? For him. For him. Thank you. God bless America. Please, Christ have mercy. Lord have mercy. Christ have mercy. And God bless our soldiers. Christ have mercy on them. All our soldiers, from the lowest to the highest. Bye-bye.